Hey there guitar players, following on from my last lesson here on YouTube where I've been talking about how you would just know what to play or how you would build a guitar solo or play leads that serve the song. Another question that I've been asked is about modes, because I was talking in the last video about Aeolian mode. I've had so many people say to me, well, how do you understand modes? What's going on? So I want to try and clear as much of that up as I can here as possible. So let's talk about what modes are not. There is so much BS out there about modes and people who think that they know about modes and they know next to nothing about modes actually, which is like hurting a lot of people. When you start searching around on the internet, you've got to be careful that you're not paying attention to bad information, of which there is a lot of that about these days. So let's talk about modes. What you need to erase from your brain right now is that there's this whole thing about, oh, like a mode is just when you start a scale from a different place. That is not the case at all. Although we can sympathize a little bit with people that say this, because let's look at something like the C major scale. It's one place. There's so many places you can play that, but this is like a standardized shape for it. So, if I play in that C major scale, what people will tell you is that, oh, if you want to get the, I don't know, which one am I going to pick? The Mixolydian mode. Mixolydian is just that scale, but starting on a G. Which, there is some truth to that, but it's not. That's one of the things that's confusing people and hurting them so much. So, let's talk about what that means. When you're playing in C major, okay, the notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and back to the C, okay? When you play C to C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, that's what we call C Ionian, the C major scale. So if I was to now start on my D note and play from D to D, the same shape, but instead of starting here, I'm going to play from D to D. I'm now playing D Dorian, so I'm doing D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Hopefully you can hear that there is a difference, but the thing is, I haven't changed the mode because of where I'm starting. What's actually changing the mode is the tonal center, okay? Because what's happening now is that this D note, that sounds like my root note, that sounds like home. If I play, start on the D, but then go back to the C, it sounds like it's C Ionian again. It doesn't sound like D Dorian at all. So again, if I was to play from E, we get the sound of E Phrygian, but only if I'm treating E as the root note. If I do, it still sounds like C major. But anyway, let's talk through what all of the modes are and what we've got. So we've got C Ionian, we'd have D Dorian, E Phrygian, F Lydian, G Mixolydian, A Aeolian, and B Locrian, or Locrian as some might like to call it. And then we'd get back to our C major. Now the thing is with this, like I say, it's not, what's changing the modes here is not where I'm starting playing in this scale, it's where the tonal center is. So a really, really good way of actually understanding and seeing modes is to play them all from one root note. So what we're talking about here, when I've been doing it in C, we're talking about derivative modes. What that means is the mode that the major scale that the mode derives from. So if I'm playing D Dorian, that's mode 2 of C major. E Phrygian is mode 3 of C major. F Lydian is mode 4 of C major, etc. But to actually really hear and understand the difference of formula and makeup of the modes, what you want to do is play them all from one tonal center and play them in what we call parallel. So if I play A Ionian, I'm going to go through this, and I'm just doing this all super quickly. If you want more in-depth tutorials on this and you want to go really deep with it, check out the links in the description to go to my online platform, Cutting Edge Guitar. But what we've got here, if I play A Ionian, okay, it sounds like this. Now what we need to talk about is formulas. Rather than talking about the notes that are in it and all that stuff, let's talk about formulas. So the formula for A Ionian, or any Ionian mode for that matter in any key, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1, or octave, okay? Now what I'm going to do, instead of playing mode 2 of A Ionian, which would be B Dorian, I'm actually going to play A Dorian, playing it from the same tonal center, okay? So it sounds like this. So what we can do now, we can hear and physically see the changes in formula. So I've got a 1 and a 2 like I had with the major scale or the Ionian mode, but now I've got a flat 3. We've then got 4, 5 and 6, which is exactly the same as our major scale, but over here we've got a flat 7, okay? So this is the Dorian mode. So if I play A Ionian and A Dorian, you can hear the difference and you can see the physical changes that we've made to make the formula of the scale change. So now if I play A Phrygian looks and sounds like this. Very drastic difference in terms of the sound. So what we've got to make A Phrygian is 1, we've now got flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. Okay, sounds drastically different. So we'll move on to the next mode, which is Lydian. That looks and sounds like this. Very bright sounding mode. So what we've got here is a 1, 2, 3, the same as we had with our Ionian. We've then got sharp 4, very bright interval. So we've got 1, 2, 3, sharp 4, 5, 6, and major 7. Or just, 7 for the moment. So that's our Lydian mode. So the next one is Mixolydian. Mixolydian looks and sounds like this. It's a really cool sounding mode. So what we've got with this one is all the same as the major scale, other than one note. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7. That's the only difference between the major scale and the Mixolydian mode is the flat 7. We've then got our Aeolian mode, which looks and sounds like this. Very melancholic sounding mode. So what we've got here is 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. Back to our room. And the 7th mode is the Locrian mode. This is largely altered, so everything has been flattened other than the 4. It sounds like this. So we've got 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7. And that is the best way to hear and see the differences in your modes, okay? So to recap, modes are not a case of just playing a scale from a different place. It's about either changing the tonal center, So for example, if when I was playing my C major scale, if instead of playing over a C major chord, I was playing over a D minor chord, I would sound like I was playing in mode 2, Dorian, D Dorian. But also, if you keep the tonal center the same and then change mode, that's when you'll really hear the difference, and of course you can see it physically on your fretboard. Now, I'll appreciate that in a 10-minute YouTube video, that is quite a fast blast through, and there's so much more to this subject than you could possibly put in a video like this. So I do recommend, if you check out the link in the description, you'll be able to, it will take you to Cutting Edge Guitar, which is my online platform, and I've got hundreds and hundreds of tutorials all about these sorts of things, including technique and how to implement it and all of them sorts of things. So check that out if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more, and also subscribe to the channel so you see my next one when it comes out. Take care guys, thanks ever so much, see you again.